Hello and welcome to a Car to Two Wheels instructional video. Today I am swapping my exhaust system on a Honda VTX1300. As you can see, I have finished the job. New pipes are on and the old pipes are just lying here. First things first, one thing I wanted to sort of suggest to people who are looking at doing something like this with their motorcycle: when you take original pipes off a bike, always put the original bolts that are on the parts you were taking off back where they originally came from. Some of these bolts can be very hard to replace or find, and you will lose them really quickly and struggle. So just to make life easier for yourself, try to keep all the bolts in the same place. So the pipes that I've put on this motorcycle were purchased off eBay, just to make things easy. They are a direct slip on. They came with little brackets on here to go around and bolt on. They also came with three like gasket type sleeves inside, so depending on the diameter of the header pipe on your motorcycle, they should slip on easily, and they have a bit of adjustment if you need it. Personally, these pipes I've left all three in. One thing I did just to make it a little bit easier sliding the pipe onto the headers is I pulled the smallest size gasket slightly, probably about halfway out, just to help it start sliding on. Once it's on, it moves itself back in, and you push the pipe on the rest of the way. I also used a small amount of two-stroke oil on the header pipe itself, again just to help it slide on a bit easier, because they are very tight, which is what you want, otherwise they're going to fall off. The other thing this exhaust came with, which can be a bit of an issue, you can see it back here, is a mounting bracket to keep both pipes secure. As you can see, the bracket itself is not really, the brackets themselves are slightly too short, so they don't actually line up and touch on this motorcycle. So I've put a long bolt with a spacer through there. That way it all sits together nicely and actually does the job. The other thing I had to do on this motorcycle, this piece here that I've taken off holds the rectifier. So on the front here, the original exhaust bolts to that to secure the exhaust pipes from shaking or rattling around. The original exhaust pipes go into these brackets here. This just holds the panel on. And on the back of this piece, your rectifier bolts to there. So you will need to relocate your rectifier. If you don't know what that is, you do sort of need it. Basically, it charges your battery. Basic tools required for this job. If you're not too mechanically minded, that's not really a problem. You will be able to do this job at home yourself. The only tools I have used is a 10, 12 and 14mm socket, a 12 and a 14mm spanner, couple of extensions. I have used this pair of vice grips. Any big pliers or anything like that will do, but you do need it to be a reasonable size to get the gasket in the exhaust out slightly, because you're not going to be able to crush it by hand, but you will with a pair of pliers or something. The other thing I have done is I have cut about 3 inches off the end of the overflow tube off the battery, because otherwise it hangs out sort of a good 2 or 3 inches below the exhaust pipe and it looks a bit stupid. Other than that, yeah, not much. This job I did one-handed because I'm currently got a broken arm. So yeah, if I can do it with one hand, I'm sure you can do it with both. I haven't test run the bike yet. That will be coming up in another video. See how it sounds. I'll do a running video of the bike, just to give you an idea. But as you will know, if you own one of these, the original pipes are extremely quiet. If you're sitting in traffic, people just have no idea you are there. And that's not really cool with me. I kind of like cars to know that I'm coming, just for my own personal safety. Yeah, the job itself, fitting it was quite straightforward, quite simple. They are quite a straight through pipe. They line up nicely from the back. They don't quite look the same as the original ones from the side. The lower pipe does sit inside the bike a bit further than the factory ones do. They look alright from the back, but you will notice that from the side, that on its side stand, it looks like the lower pipe is a wee way in. Personal preference, how much do you want to spend on a set of pipes? These pipes cost me about $140, including shipping to New Zealand, and they fit on nicely, so I can't really say too much about that. The only thing I strongly recommend is replacing the original screw bolts and washers and stuff that they come with. This should be attached to the end of that. That's one of the bolts off the exhaust bracket, and it just snapped clean off. They are not good. Usual quality of eBay parts, I suppose. Go and buy some decent washers, and go and buy some decent bolts and locking nuts, because they don't come with them in the kit. If you have any questions on this, feel free to ask, and I will answer them when I can. Cheers.